50 amp start.
This is a friend of mine's 2004 Toyota Tacoma. She's a good little truck, red. Older gentleman who recently passed away had this truck. This guy was like, hey, you know, it's been sitting. How much you want for it? The lady said 500 bucks. I think that's a good deal. Got a little bit of rustage on the front bumper, but all this is clean. No real major dings and dents and scratches. Rockers are still here. It's a good looking truck. The way I found out about this, he texts me and says, hey, you know how to change the alternator belt on the this here truck? I said, sure, not a problem. Then I get to the parts store, find out there's 3 belts on it. Got to figure out which belt it is. And of course I told him, you know, there's a chance that the belt didn't just let go. You know, something else typically has to seize up, or there's a reason it threw the belt, right? But, you know, maybe things, you know, maybe the belt's bad. So we get there, I put my hand on the alternator, seized right up solid. So my hunch was correct. Got this thing on the charger now because it's been dead for 6 months. Up here on the trailer, you can see what I was talking about. She is really clean. 13 volts. That'll do. I did already get a new battery for this. Perfect. Trailer tips. Perfect. So tiny. Everything's so tight. This is a 2.4 liter motor on this here Toyota. It's in pretty good shape. It's only got 180,000 miles or something like that. I don't actually know. And it's got 3 belts, which is the tough part, because this is your water pump power steering. It's your air conditioning down there. And then down all the way down into the hole down there is the alternator. Here. Seized right solid. That's why it kicked the belt. But we got to take all the other belts off to get to it. Here's what I'm seeing. Got a tensioner on the power steering pump, which also happens, I think it's just power steering. And I think water pump and alternator are the same. That might be a problem. I have the wrong belt. I got the wrong belt. I already know. Power steering pump has an idler on it that the water pump and the alternator are on the same belt, which means I got the wrong one. Because this belt that I got right here is for just the alternator alone. There's apparently a couple different routings on this, and I found a diagram online, and the guy at the O'Reilly's had a different diagram. Well, it turns out we were wrong, because this is, and I'm gonna have to call him, get a different part on the way. Looking up under here, you might start to understand why I like these foreign jobs of the early 2000s. And look at all this space I got. 14 or 12. Looks like a 14. Get this in here, boom. Out she comes. Probably run it by hand. Don't be too cocky. Why isn't she coming? Oh, there's a nut on the backside. I see. That makes more sense. Come on, come on. There we go. Probably ought to get the charge cable off of it before I arc that out on the frame. And just like that, we got an alternator out. Come out of there. Nope, at the bottom. Are you coming out the bottom? Is that what you're gonna do? Or you're not coming out the bottom. You're not gonna fit. You are coming out the bottom because you're gonna fit. Come on. Come on out. Right there. Out. My finger. Oh, that's my finger. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're not fitting. More force. Just give her more force. Gotta come out the top, I guess. So I got the lift sole up in the air. I need a ladder. You're gonna come out the top then. Fine, so be it. You win. But I shoved her down so far. Now what am I gonna do? What's the deal? Why is the radiator hose in the way so bad? Come on now, just behave. You've been so good this whole time. When in doubt, throw your back out. Out the top then it is, fine. I don't see how it's gonna fit though. There ain't no way. If you just hold on to it and not drop it so much. I'm leaking again. What am I doing right now? Okay, I assumed it needed to go that way. Can it go this way? Okay, it can't go that way. What's the deal? Do I gotta take that bracket off of there? I bet if I did, it'd be okay. Oh, my goodness. Is that necessary? This is nuts. It's unnecessary. Why am I trying so hard? All right, there we go. Come on. That was easy. You may wonder, why am I going to replace this battery? I just drove the thing in here on it. Well, what you didn't see is that I baked it for 2 hours on repair mode. And the charger finished it off and said the best it could do is 83% battery life. And if I go on and get this guy out of here, okay, I've got this pristine unit right here. There's a very specific reason that I bought this pristine unit, okay? And it's not because of this. It's because this guy right here is for a newer Chevy truck. But I got a local battery dealer. This costs 40 bucks, brand new. Bingo. Perfect. Like I mentioned, this truck's been parked for 6 months, a year. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 1.7 million point inspection. Look over the brakes, do all that jazz, find all the problems before I send them down the road to find the problem on the side of the road, you know? Because it's a lot easier to do that right now, and normally a lot cheaper than if I let them get down the road to find out a ball joint's bad and the thing falls off going down the road. Yikes, that is terrible. This is the exact kind of thing I am talking about. See that rotor, that's, you're gonna go down the road with that, it ain't gonna be good, okay? So we're gonna take this off probably and have it turned. Oh boy. That's not what I wanted to see. This is the older style, where this brake rotor is a part of the hub. You gotta take this apart, take the cotter key out, take the outer wheel bearing apart, like an old trailer. Maybe I'm not doing that. Maybe I'll just check the pads and we'll take her for a drive and see if they break in, you know. Giving the calipers the old compression test normally tells you if they're bad or not. Because if they're bad, well, they're not gonna compress. Now you can't do this on newer vehicles. They got electric motors in them for parking brake stuff. And you need to put them in service mode and all that. On this 2004 unit, you can just compress it real gently. And if everything's healthy, this will tell you if the brake pins, you know, there's 2 pins in here that it slides back. It's how it keeps it centered, right? And as your pads wear in, the caliper's got to move to stay centered over them. Well, those pins sometimes seize. You know, doing this will tell you if the pins are seized or if they're healthy. It'll also tell you if your brake caliper starts leaking juice, you'll know you better replace it, you know? So it's just a good brake health checkup. Looks like we're doing good so far. I'll go ahead, pop this off, and take a peek at the pads. 17 millimeter. Gotta break the hand hammer out. Oh, you're kidding. This is where I break a finger. Okay. You know, I like these older cars, but they put this brake line right in the way. Can't get nothing in there. What I is supposed to take this off to loosen that? Don't think so. Well, Mr. O'Reilly, man, sure enough, went and got me another belt and get her back down in the hole. Let's see if I can bleed less going in. Come on. This way? That way. This out. Oh. Drop it, yep. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. All right, get there in there. In there, oh, yep. I gotta go clean that up. Wire wheel and oil. Perfect. Oh my gosh. Tired of that. The alternator belt is the one the most backwards. It's the back the farce is what I'm trying to say. We got 2 of them, but the issue is you got the fan right here in the way. So you gotta slip it over the fan blades and get it up around. You do it something like this, you know, you get it on the fan blades. Okay, hit the fan blades, all right? Just rip around them, work it down. All right, one blade at a time. So we got it on the alternator, on the water pump, and it's way too big, way too big. Cool, not that one. Gonna return this one. O'Reilly man said this is the right one. We're gonna find out. So we're gonna go over the fan blades. How many times can you say that? Oh, that's the sound of plastic breaking. I don't like that. I got the belt and the alternator back on. She's brand new. Okay, looking good. Before I send this back on down the road, we're gonna do a little health check. Engine oil, looking good. Can you see it? Can you see it? See? Not too dark. Oil cap, super clean. Next, power steering fluid. Well, cold. It's cold, it says cold. Brake fluid. When I had the calipers compressed, I sucked all the black juice and put fresh juice in the brake reservoir and then filled the calipers back out. So that's good. How's the air cleaner look? This sat for a couple months. Did a mouse make a house in here? Honestly, it could probably take one, but no reason to. Not yet anyways. Reinstall that. Front brakes look meh. We already know that. Oil, juice, cleaner, battery. Fire it up. We've got to get the multimeter first. The battery is resting at 12.7. $14.5. Perfect. Alternator is charging. Why don't we check the air pressures and the tires before we go blazing down the road? Wow. 11 PSI. Yikes. Get them even. That was at 22. There we go. Perfect. This thing drives like a tractor. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. Kind of like it. Tell you what, driving this little thing feels like I'm in a go-kart. It's kind of weird. Oh, she's peppy. You don't even have to try. She just goes. No violent shaking yet. Oh no, she's needs a slight bit of work on the alignment. It darts around pretty bad. Definitely can hear those rear brake drums breaking back in. Looks like we're making coolant temp and it's leveling out. Man, she darts over the road. You just want to give it a little and it helps you turn. That's how you know the alignment is bad. Give her all she's got, Scotty. Oh, she's fast. And bed the brakes back in. Really giving her the beans. Smoothening out on the road again. Well, that is gonna do it for this here 2004 Tacoma. The brakes are doing all right. We went on the test drive and we bedded them in a little bit, okay? I'm looking right at them. They're gonna need to be done, okay, at some point. But for a while, this isn't a daily driver. This is his hunting truck. He's gonna toss a deer in the back of it. It'll be fine, okay? Needs a marker light over here. Not the end of the world. It's a good little truck. And for 500 bucks and an alternator, you can't complain. So have a good weekend, have a good day, have a good night. I don't know what day it is, but I hope you're doing well, and I will see you on the next one.